Rewind, where we celebrate all the films that are celebrating their 10th and their 20th anniversaries, brought to you by our good friends at AMC Theaters. And this is a great week for celebrating the 10th and 20th anniversaries. We got some great films on this. First of all, turning 10 years old this week. I can't believe this. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Not the first, not the second, not the third, but as Sinead reminded me, the fourth film in the Harry Potter franchise turns 10 years old this week. Feel old yet? I do. Also opening 10 years ago this week is the great Johnny Cash biopic, Walk the Line, that garnered a couple of Academy Awards. Yeah. Turning 20 years old this week. Just a comedy I think is really underrated, really unappreciated, is the Michael Douglas, Annette Bening comedy, The American President. I thought that was good. One of the greatest video games, I'm sorry, this was a movie, GoldenEye. Also one of the greatest video games ever made, GoldenEye.
Definitely.
And on the not-so-classic, the Twins movie, It Takes Two. So, Schnepp, let's start with you. Which of these, there's some great ones on here. Which of these movies stand out to you the most?
Well, definitely for the 20 years old one, GoldenEye. Now, that was, I think, the best Pierce Brosnan James Bond. It's funny, I got into a big Bond discussion with a couple people yesterday about Spectre and where that falls, and then we just started going through all the different Bonds and which was their best, which was their worst. And for me, GoldenEye was one of the best, especially for Pierce Brosnan. I think that's the one that had Famke Johnson in it, right? It's the thigh-crushing femme fatale. Really fun and definitely an incredible video game as well. So, yeah, GoldenEye for me, the 20-year-old one. And then for the 10 years old one, Walk the Line really sticks out. Johnny Cash was an incredible performer. I got the chance to see him in concert. I love his. I've got a lot of his albums. I love his last cover series that he did, where he covered Soundgarden and stuff like that. It was fantastic to hear like that guy sing songs that you've heard from other people. So, Walk the Line, Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon just completely crushed it as far as like being able to take those characters and bring this.
Reese won the Academy Award, did she not?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think she did.
So it's a fantastic film. I would highly recommend it if you guys haven't seen it. It's only 10 years old, so you should definitely see it.
Mark, which one stand out to you?
I mean, it's so cute. So you got Kirstie Alley, right? And then you have Steve Guttenberg. And I don't know if it's going to work out, but they have twins, and they hook them up together. God, it was a horrible movie to watch on a plane one time, which I did. GoldenEye's one that stands out for me. It was the first Bond movie I ever saw in theaters. I had friends who were really into Bond, and I don't know if I'd ever seen a James Bond movie, period, up to that point. Going to the theater and just seeing Pierce Brosnan on the big screen, he just encompassed everything that was James Bond before those movies got really silly with him in it towards the latter ones. Him and Sean Bean going back and forth, great in that movie.
Sean Bean was so good in that.
006.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And The American President, if you haven't seen it, don't worry. It's going to be on TBS or TNT in the next 3 hours. It's always on TV.
Spoiler alert, Sean Bean dies in the film.
Whoa, he always dies.
In The American President?
Yeah, just about any film you put
It
him in,
Takes
really.
Two, the Olsen twins get him?
No, the one I got to draw attention to it again is The American President. This is a film I know a lot of you guys haven't seen yet, and it is a really nice film. Richard Dreyfuss kind of plays the evil politician bad guy who wants to take Michael Douglas's job as the President of the United States. As an interesting little note, Charlie Sheen, who is probably the most famous on-screen president
Martin
ever.
Martin Sheen.
Keep saying Charlie Sheen,
You gotta
don't
get Charlie off the brain,
I gotta
man.
get Charlie off the brain. Although Charlie did play the president in a movie once.
Machete Kill.
That's right, as Mark pointed out to us earlier today. So you got Sheen's playing, they're playing presidents all over the place. Anyway, Martin Sheen, of course, the most famous on-screen president of all time, playing President Bartlett in The West Wing for many, many seasons. He actually is in this movie as well, and he plays the chief of staff this time. So he's right in the White House, exactly where you want to be. Did he not also, wait a minute, did he not also play the president in the comic book movie, what's the one by McFarlane?
Martin Sheen did play the president.
Spawn, yes,
Yeah.
he also played the president in Spawn. There you go.
Wow.
So anyway, this is a really fun comedy. Check it out if you get the chance. And, obviously, Walk the Line is an award-winning thing. It's some of the most powerful performances, 1-2 punch with Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon going at it all at once. Check that out. So yeah, great week.
Sinead had a little info about the Goblet of Fire. What was that you were talking about earlier?
I can't. It's a spoiler alert.
It's 10 years old,
It's 10 years old now.
Well, I thought that we were serious because I was going to say that's the one that Robert Pattinson dies in.
Oh, yes. That's right. Twilight's Robert Pattinson
I just like hearing
dies in.
that. I don't know why.
Cedric.
It's just like playing Cedric. Playing Cedric the Entertainer. All